Hi, I'm Russo, fashion and lifestyle stylist, and today I'm going to tell you the top 5 trends for spring 2010. They are hot and they are right off the runway, so I hope they help. The very first one I have is less is more. Go with the basics. So find the basics that are in your wardrobe, all your staple items, all the things that you would start with, and begin an outfit out of that, because on the runway they had everything basic, a lot of basic white tanks, a lot of khaki skirts, a lot of khaki pants, and then they were adding, like, say, a pop of orange. Orange, huge color, very popular all over the runway. I saw orange and tan, orange and khaki. Orange was hot. Definitely looks good with your basics. So do a basic outfit and then add that little pop of color, or add that bold necklace, which I'm going to talk about as one of the other top 5s. And there you go, you have a perfect outfit put together. Number 2 is military style, but military style dressed up. Now, what that means is taking your sequins, taking your crystals, taking everything that you can imagine that you kind of saw in the fall, and picture that on a military jacket or on the military style pants. That is what we're talking about dressed up. Or you could take your military jacket that you did have and add it to, like, a little bit of a more of a cocktail dress and making it a little bit more dressed up that way. But I definitely suggest looking for the military jackets that had the sequins, that had the chains, that have tons and tons of detail, because those are the ones that were really dressed up and are going to take us right into the spring and summer. So military dressed up. Number 3 is mixing prints. Everybody gets scared of it, and it can be a little bit scary because you see those people walking on the streets that just mix the prints the wrong way. So take your time with it. Definitely flip through some magazines. Definitely look online to see what you can find there. And you could always find me on Twitter, because I love to answer your questions, and I'll tell you what works and what doesn't with mixing prints. But just for starters, if you mix prints, go for colors that work together. Stick with color patterns that seem to match or complement each other. That's a good beginning for mixing prints, because you obviously don't want to mix these prints that are 2 totally different color families. You want to kind of keep the colors together. And then keep the sizes of the prints together. So say if you have a really thin stripe, do a really small floral print. Don't do this big, bold floral and then like this little weird stripe that doesn't really go. So you want to really think about the patterns and mix them well. Another tip that I have that's really good is to go out, and I have one here, buy the Vogues and the Bazaars and all the magazines that are out, but buy them from other countries. This one happens to be a British one. There's tons. There's the Italian Vogue, French. Really good place to start and to see how they mix and match their trends and they do their different styles, because sometimes the way they will do stuff is a little bit different than the way we do it here, and it can help. It can give you the ideas. But you want to go through, you want to flip through and look through to see some ideas like that. Number 4, chains and crystals. Chains and crystals are huge, and we saw them a little bit in fall as well, but now for spring and summer, all over everything. You're going to look for bulky, chunky chains, different texture chains, thin ones and big ones mixed together with the crystals. Big, 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 big crystals. Look for them mixing together on bracelets, necklaces, earrings, everything you can imagine we're seeing them on. And they're even on handbags, so you can kind of incorporate that way too. If you're afraid of wearing the really big, bold necklace, look for a handbag with a chain and a little bit of crystal detail on it, because that is really, really big for the spring 2010 right off the runway. Finally, are laser cuts. Now, to explain laser cuts, what it basically is when they take this really small laser and they'll cut fabrics and materials, and they create this pattern that looks like sort of like a lace pattern or a doily that you would use on a plate. They cut this really fine pattern out, and that's what they use on handbags, on shoes, on clothing. Really, really popular for spring 2010. You can start to look for them. If you type in laser cuts on handbags, I'm sure you'll find exactly what I'm talking about. But they're really big, so look for them. I like it on a handbag just because it's a nice little detail and it looks really nice. And kind of switches up your bag a little bit. So those are my top 5 tips. I hope that helps. I hope you get some good information from it. You guys know where to find me. I'm on Twitter /DawnDelRusso if you're looking, and I love to answer your questions. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye.